I'm not sure if everyone was in before, but I was just saying hello to everyone. My name's Nicole. I'll be taking you through our Nelson MindTap platform today. In terms of some housekeeping things, there's the chat feature that you can use to pop in any of your questions throughout this presentation, so please utilize that. There's also a question and answer section that you can also use. We might just give it another minute or so to give everyone a chance to join in after school. So we'll just hang around for about a minute. But yeah, any questions, please pop them through in the chat or the question and answer section, and hopefully we can answer those questions for you. On the call today is Donna, who you guys hopefully know and love. She looks after Western Australia, so hopefully you see a familiar face there. And we've got a few other of our colleagues as well, Emma and Jess too. It'll mainly be me chatting, so hopefully it's a good afternoon session for you. And as I mentioned, it'll mainly focus on Nelson MindTap, our digital platform, and looking at it for WA Senior Maths. So we might start, I think, for the sake of time. Okay, so in terms of some of the features that you will have through Nelson MindTap, it is our digital platform. So some of the teaching resources that you will receive should you choose our textbooks is you will have access to gradebook. So this is where any of your students' results will appear. So you get to see that as a teacher. You have the option of customizing any of our content in our course to suit your needs as well. So with a subject like maths, this is a great feature. You can rearrange chapters, you can hide particular content, really customize it to suit your students and your school. You can assign specific tasks to students and receive those graded results, as I mentioned. And of course, we provide you with things like our teaching programs, fully work solutions, everything to assist you and free up your time so you can teach. In terms of your student resources, they get tasks as well as chapter test, work solutions, worksheets, videos, skill sheets, a whole bunch of things, and of course, an e-text as well to go along with that. The teachers also get chapter PDFs and the textbook PDF too. Okay, wonderful. So this is what this would look like. This is what the platform looks like when you first log in. With the platform, the way it works, in order to gain access, it's slightly a little bit different depending on if you're using a bookseller or if you're purchasing directly with us. Of course, Donna and myself can help guide you and help you set up with that. Typically, the way it would work is you would receive supporting documents and we guide you through registration, create an account and everything there. So we provide you with all the supporting documentation for that. And this is where you will take you after you create your account. Creating an account is quite simple. It just requires a name, an email and a password. So fairly straightforward. So the first thing you'll be presented with is a screen like this. And the first time you log in, this will very well be blank. You'll see this button here along the top that will say create a course. So a course is just another name for a class. So what you'll need to do is just click onto that one there. You'll be creating a new course because it'll be your, hopefully, start of the new school, new year. You'll choose your school's name, even if it's the only one there, you just highlight it, make sure it's presented. And then you'll be presented with a list of textbooks. I, of course, have access to everything, but for your school, it will be, the maths textbooks that you will be using. So for the sake of this, we're just going to go with the 11 maths applications and then on to next. A course name, again, is just any class name that you'd like to use. So that's entirely up to you. And then the start date and end date just dictates when your students get access to this. So with this, we recommend that you cover this until the end of the school year to ensure that your students have access straight through to the end of the year. With the rest of it, it's all already filled in. Then you just click on to next. It gives you a confirmation. And then once you click on finish, there is your course created and you will have access to everything there. Now, I am working from home and so is everyone else, so please do bear that in mind if my internet's a little bit slow. So this is what the screen will look like when you first create your course. The first thing you'll see along the side here is your student registration. So this will be how your students get access to these resources. The teacher will present them with this URL. They too will create an account. Again, fairly simple. They require a username, a name, and then they enter in this specific course key. So this course key is unique and it's an invitation to join your class. The second thing along you'll see is an option of adding teachers. If you are the coordinator of your school, you can go ahead and create all of these courses on behalf of your teachers and then add the teachers to it. So they will be listed below here. This is great for, class share situations. So if there's multiple teachers, or as I mentioned, if a coordinator wants to do this on behalf of their staff, they can do this and then jump in case anyone is away. The other way that teachers and schools utilize this is, again, someone like a coordinator or a particular teacher will create a course, clone it on behalf of the rest of their teachers. So that way, not every single teacher needs to do this. The next thing along the bottom will be any of your registered students. I, of course, just created this course, so I don't have anyone in here. So I'm just going to jump into one that I created earlier, just so you can see what it would look like when you've got your students registered. So with that one there, let me just make sure I find the right one. This is this one here. So if I click into manage course, you'll see what a class with students looks like. So this is what my registered students are here. I know everyone believes that their students are superstars or, superheroes, but mine genuinely are. The great thing with this feature here is you have the ability as a teacher to click onto your student's name and help them, assist them with any of their details for their account. So in case they've ever forgotten what their username is, in case they need to reset their password, you can do this straight away for them in class, and it's done instantly. So they can log in and access their resources. As I mentioned, if you have any questions throughout, please just pop them into the chat. So let's say we're happy. We've, registered our teachers that we need to register. We've registered our students. Everyone's enrolled and we're ready to go. We can now launch our course and access our resources. So this here will launch all of those additional resources that I mentioned earlier, such as your work solutions, your teaching programs, your videos, all of that will be found here. In terms of the navigation of the platform, you'll have this menu button in the top right corner, which is what we call a little hamburger menu. There's also a search feature that you can use at any time to search for things as well. So to navigate, you just click on the menu option and you'll be presented with all of the menu features. The first one is materials. So materials is where all of those additional resources lie. So the way that it's laid out is laid out in a chapter folder format, so making it very easy to navigate and see everything. The first thing you'll see is a textbook PDF. So we provided the PDF in a full textbook as well as individual chapter PDF. So if you click into a specific chapter, it'll break it down. And again, you'll see the first one there, chapter 1 PDF, as well as a teaching program, prior learning checks, outline, syllabus coverage, and then it breaks it down into all of the exercises too. So if we click into a specific exercise, it'll break it down into just the content for that exercise and any relevant additional resources for that exercise. So for exercise 1.1, we have a video playlist as well as a worksheet. Of course, being maths, not everything that we provided is online. We provided both a mix of online activities as well as downloadable pen and paper activities. The other things we have provided is our topic tests. So we provided these topic tests both in a Word document and in a PDF. Being that it's in a Word document, this means that you can edit this and utilize it for your school, make any changes that you want. Of course, we provided you with those answers as well, again, as a relief for you and hopefully freeing up some of your valuable time. Other great features are our answers and solutions. So we not have only provided answers, but fully worked solutions for every individual chapter. I'm just going to go in and click onto one of these just to show you an example of what one of the worksheets look like, just so you have a bit of an idea of what this will be. So this is what our worksheet for exercise 1.1 is. These are PDF files, and as I mentioned, you can download these and share them with your students. They're a great homework activity or a substitute teacher activity in case you were ever away as well. So you just download that one there and you're welcome to share that with your students. The next thing that you can do in the materials section is you have the ability to edit materials. So with this feature here, this is an optional thing. You don't have to do this, but some of our schools like this feature because they can customize their specific course. What I mean by that is that you can rearrange any of these chapters to suit the format that you would like. So for instance, you can choose chapter 1 and rearrange chapter 1 and chapter 2. Of course, you can change any of these naming conventions. you can hide full chapters from your student course view. So what this would mean is when your student logs in, they will not see chapter 1. If you wanted to hide specific exercises, you can also do that as well. So you would just click down on the drop-down arrow and hide a specific exercise as well. So if we don't want exercise 2.1 for whatever reason, we can hide this too. From this, you are just customizing your student course view. So it's a really great feature for differentiation. You can hide this just for your students, and you as a teacher get access to everything. In terms of the topic tests and the answers and solutions, these are automatically grayed out and hidden for students. Of course, if you wished, you could always unhide this and make this visible to them. The last thing that you can do in this section here is you can add any external links that you would like. So if you have a great video that you use, that you've, a YouTube video or a survey that you found, you can add a link. All you need to do is add a name and a URL. And then once you save that, put it in the appropriate chapter that you like. The last thing you'll have to do is just publish this, and then that way your students can see this. Next thing along is the assignments feature. So this is it's just giving me a pop-up because I made those changes, but I'm going to leave it as it is. The next thing you can do is assign work to your students. So this will allow you to see, first of all, their graded results and have a very easy way of assigning and assessing your students. So the way you would do that is by finding the appropriate task that you want. So we provided prior learning checks for every single chapter. You can see with this pen mark, this indicates that I've previously assigned this task. You can always go back and reassign this too. So I'm just going to find a different exercise that I would like to assign this to students. So we're just going to go through. I can click on as many or as little activities as I want. If I want them to complete a worksheet, an online exercise, there's no limit to how many you choose. The last thing you'll do is click on the Assign 3 selected at the bottom. And here you'll be presented with a few different options. The first thing you have to do is just provide a category. So if it was a quiz, if it was a reading, if it was a test, again, you just choose what was relevant. You have the ability of assigning to everyone in your class, or you can assign it to individual students. So if you wanted to assign it to a particular student, you can. So you can choose to do that, or absolutely everyone. Again, that's entirely up to you. The last thing you will have is to set a start date for this task, as well as a due date. So again, you can choose it to be homework for the evening or due in a week's time, up to you. The amount of attempts is also something that you need to assign. So if it was a single attempt, a few attempts, unlimited. Again, entirely up to every single teacher. Once you hit on assign, this is then processed, and your students, the next time they will log in, they will see those assignments there for them. If you're ever unsure what this looks like from your students' point of view, so you've gone ahead and, customize this course, make changes, rearrange chapters, assigned activities, we do have an option of viewing as students. So this is always really handy in case you're ever unsure of what this will look like. This feature here is very reassuring. So I've just clicked on view as a student, and now I'm looking at it from a perspective of a student. So clear as day, as a student, I can see I have 3 assignments currently due, and what I will have to do is just go ahead and complete these. I can see when they are due, I can see how many attempts that I have left, and in the case of where we have multiple assignments, the one that's due the soonest is always the one that's up the top for them. So for the sake of the demo, I'm just going to show you an example of what one of our online exercises are. So this is the type of exercise that you would receive the graded results of for your students. So with Nelson MindTap, what we have done is we have turned some of the textbook exercises into online activities as well. So again, just freeing up some of your time. Instead of them completing in class, they can complete it online, and you will receive graded results of this. If my internet would cooperate. Loading.
Something just happened.
And then we just click on to next. So the examples of the online exercises that they receive is like this. They have a drop-down answer option. There's also multiple choice options, or there's enter and answer. So the they're always objective answers only. So for your students, they would just have to go through and then submit these there. So you can see I got those right because, of course, I'm just a great math student. And then we click on to next there. The good thing with this is your student just can't keep clicking on to next, next, next. They have to input an answer before they're allowed to move on to the next question. So there I can now submit. I'm not going to go through and answer all of this. It's more just to give you an idea of what this would look like from your student's perspective. As far as what your students will see, they will see their materials as well, their study hub where any of their notes they have, and their ebook too. So they see a few less things than you as well. I'm just going to go back to the teacher view, just so we can see what it looks like from a teacher view. So next thing you're probably wondering is, okay, great, those students have completed these tasks. Where do those results go? And so that will sit within your gradebook. So your gradebook is where all of your students' results, should they complete their tasks and their activities, will be. So here you can see everything that I have assigned to my class. And if they've completed the activity, there will be a mark against it there. With this, you can always click on this mark, so 75%. We can click on that there and view the student's attempt. You can always edit and override this score should you wish. But if we just want to view what this attempt was, we would click on that view button there, and we can see exactly what that student has answered. So we click on question 1. It gives us the question again, and we can see what that student has answered. If we click onto the next question, again, we can see exactly what that student has answered. We can see when they also submitted this attempt. Along the side here, you can also jump through to any other students that had this activity and also completed to see what their results was like. So myself, I completed this task as well, so go me. But if you had a student that was assigned this and they haven't attempted it, once you click on their name, it'll tell you very clearly that there was no attempt found as well. So very good visibility for you as a teacher. You can always download this as well and utilize it to any grading or reporting time that you have to. If it was something like a video, so where there isn't a marked activity, and you just want to make sure that your students are viewing this, it'll tell you that they have viewed it. The dash indicates that they haven't participated in the activity. The next reporting feature we have is reports. So this here is your students' usage report. So this will tell you the total amount of time they've spent logged into the platform, the amount of time they've spent on content, and when they last logged in. So our teachers love this for parent-teacher interview time. They think it's a very handy tool. It can show you very clearly that your student is or isn't on their maths textbook. And again, just really good to know and some great visibility. If you click on a student's name, it'll break it down even further and it'll give you even specific details about that student too. So the exact exercise that they were on and their usage overview in comparison to the rest of the class as well. So again, quite handy to have that extra little feature there too. I'm just going to stop to see if there's been any questions or anything. I've been trying to keep track, but just in case I've missed anything. Doesn't look like it. But please make sure if you do have any questions, just pop them into the chat as we're going along. The next thing down, so I'm just going to take a little sip of my tea. The next thing down is groups. So groups here is where you would create any groups of your students. So if this here could be based on abilities, based on projects, based on if a student was away, whatever it is, you can go ahead and create specific groups. This comes in handy when you're assigning tasks. So if you wanted to assign it to just one group, you can also use the groups feature come the assigning time. At any time, you can go ahead and edit these groups or delete these groups as well. Your study hub is where any of your notes that you do take as a teacher, or if your students are taking their own individual notes, this will all come through to here. So we try to recommend this for students, particularly come end of year exam revision. They have the ability to print off their notes. So, an easy way for them to see their notes throughout the year. One of the last things I will show is our search feature. So this here is just an ability to go through and search for specific either resources or specific topics. So if we would just want to see what videos we have, we would just type in video and it'll search through. The one thing to keep in mind with this is that it's not Google search. Unfortunately, the technology isn't that advanced. Otherwise, the price for Nelson MindTap would be huge and we don't want that. So just keep in mind, when you are searching, use terms that we do have. So from here, you can see any videos that we do have. You can choose to filter between the student edition or the teacher edition. You can filter by specific chapter. And if it's an assignable task, you can assign straight from here. You don't need to go back to the assignment section. You can do that straight from here. I'll just show you an example of what this video playlist would look like. So some of these videos are mixed. So some of them are sort of tutorial style video with, a teacher standing at the front and speaking through a concept. Some of them are just sort of PowerPoint slide where it's writing and the students are just watching. They're meant to be refreshers and things that your students can refer to for their own, brushing up on any of the skills that you've learned in class as well. So sorry, it's having its moments, isn't it, my internet? There we go. So they do vary in length. So this one here goes for 15 minutes. I'm not going to play that because no one wants to. We're not doing that at the end of the day, but it's more just to give you an idea of what sort of videos we have provided for you as well. So this one here is an example of another video that we have there as well. The final thing that I will also show you is our ebook. Now, we've had schools say, Nicole, all of these features are great. It's great to be able to customize and assign tasks, but I don't have the time in the world to do that. I just want my own teaching resources like my work solutions, and I want an ebook. And I want to make sure my students have an ebook. And we go, yeah, we hear you loud and clear. We've provided you with an ebook as well. The thing to keep in mind with this platform is that everything is optional. So you don't have to choose to use all of these things. These things are just there for you as an option. So when you first open up the ebook, this is what it will look like. Along the side here is the table of contents. So you can choose to filter like that, or you can choose to jump to a specific page as well. So if we just type in page 60 and go to page 60, it'll take us there. The good thing with the ebook is that it's page faithful to the hard copy text. So if you have a hard copy text, page 100 in the hard copy is page 100 in the ebook as well. From here, you can go ahead and add any highlights, add any notes, and what we have is a read aloud function as well. So with this here, your students can also use this. I'm just going to click on play and hopefully the sound comes through for you guys as well.
The value of the expression.
With maths, unfortunately, it does struggle to read some of the numbers. So just do bear that in mind if you are potentially using this. The other things that you can use is to search. So again, you can use the search feature to jump ahead through the content of the textbook, add any annotations. And in terms of accessibility, you can zoom in, you can change the speed of the read aloud feature, and you can also change the accent. And for anyone wondering, we have provided an Australian accent as well. So you can let your students know they can listen to it in an Aussie accent too. That's essentially the platform at a quick overview. I will jump through to anything if anyone had any specific questions about things that they wanted to see or something that I didn't talk to. Please put in any questions that you do have, and we can talk about that as well. If you can't think of anything at the moment, please reach out to Donna or to myself, and we can also answer those questions after the meeting too. That will just give you guys a moment to have a think, and I can jump in and show anyone anything that they wanted to see. Donna, did you know if there was any specific Oh, actually, sorry, there was something that Donna did mention to me, was the idea of cloning courses. So at the end of the school year or at the beginning of the school year, whenever it was, let's say you did have a teacher that had gone ahead and, created some great customizations and rearranged the chapters, and you just loved how that worked for you in that year. From this screen here, if we go back to the home screen, there will be a little arrow button against your course, and it'll allow you to copy course. So what this will mean is it'll copy the course exactly the way that you customized it. So that way for your students come the next year, you don't have to go ahead and do all of this again. As I mentioned, this is also applicable for a teacher if they wanted to do this on behalf of their whole staff. So if a maths coordinator wanted to do this, they can also do this option as well. We can help you out and work with you and your school to figure out what the best way and the best method to do this for yourself and for your teachers as well. But the option is there for you. Give it a few more minutes for questions. But otherwise, I might just stop sharing and hand over to Donna. And if, of course, as I mentioned, just pop in any questions that you might have.
Maybe we're shy here in WA, or maybe we're just really clever and we're across it. So
I think so. I think that's what it is.
So for anybody that I haven't already met or don't know, my name's Donna Hamlin and I'm the learning consultant for WA. So Nicole's gone through a demo of Nelson MindTap now, but if you do at any stage have any questions or queries or concerns, please feel free to reach out to either myself or Nicole. And if you even wanted to have a one-on-one session with Nicole or myself, my level is to here. Nicole is obviously at a much higher level, so I can help you if I can. If not, we will defer to Nicole and she'll be able to assist you. For any schools that are looking at books now but haven't had a good look at Nelson MindTap and would like to have a trial, then please let me know. We are organising at the moment 30-day complimentary trials where you can go in and have a little look around and have a bit of play with Nelson MindTap and get a good feel for it. Or alternatively, if you're wanting to see the hard copy books and wanting to have a look at some samples, if I haven't already been out to your school, I'm busy getting out to schools at the moment and am more than happy to call in, drop some books off for you to have a look at and talk to you about Nelson MindTap queries that you might have. I think that covers it.
I've just popped my email in the chat just in case anyone needed it. The other thing that I will mention, in order to get access to Nelson MindTap, this is provided complimentary for schools that either book list, purchase a class set, or book hire our text. So it must be used as the prescribed text for your students in order for you to access these additional complimentary teaching resources. But again, if there's any confusion with access, or as Donna mentioned, you wanted some more information, please reach out and we're available should you choose for PDs, for training, both one-on-one or a whole department, and we can do that at any time to suit you and your school's needs. But otherwise, if there wasn't any questions, we wanted to thank you for taking the afternoon to join us. This is recorded, so we can send this out and you can share that with any staff that might not have been able to join. And yeah, please do reach out. But again, thank you and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.